just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar, brought to you by Bloke in a Bar, its own beer. Go down to your local, grab a case of smooth, crisp, beautiful lager. I've got two gentlemen that love a good bloke on the weekend. The Hello Sport podcast.
Correct.
Tom and Eddy, Eddie and Tom. Welcome, gentlemen. Also, go to their podcast, subscribe. I listen to it every week. Probably the best sporting podcast in the country, if I don't mind saying.
That's not an overstatement.
It's very kind. I'll return favour. Your beer is the best lager in the business.
Yeah. That's a big call too.
Smooth and crisp.
Yeah. I'd bathe in it now.
Yeah.
It's
I like
terrific.
That. Well, see, you've heard it here first. The best sports podcast in the country have said beer's the best in the country. Also, grab some merch. But boys, how have you been? Not much has gone on in rugby league in the last 24 hours.
No, it's been pretty quiet, rugby league. Rugby league, not the game that really delivers much news.
Well, rugby league hates a headline. That's what I've always said. Hates a headline. Can't churn a headline out if it was, the last thing it could do.
I think rugby league looks to rugby union and just goes, fuck, I wish we could get the sort of coverage they get.
I wish we could fill papers.
Yeah.
Fuck those rugby
Why don't
union
they ever
boys.
write
They
about
fill
us?
a paper every week. It's like you don't stop flipping.
Yeah.
Don't stop flipping.
No.
Rugby league. What's happened? Nothing.
No, nothing's happened. Honestly, there's been so many headlines. There's you could have multiple headlines if you really wanted to.
Yep.
Matter of fact, the last 24 hours, we've probably had more stories that are headlined than rugby union in 12 months. Is that a fair comment?
That's easily a fair comment.
I like to measure it against front pages. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like usually for sport, you got to flip her over, but if you're getting the front page, you're doing something.
Rugby union hasn't had a front page.
I would 2002, last time we won a bled. Maybe when we lost the 2003 World Cup final, we might have got a front page.
Maybe a front page.
It's been a long time.
Man, I thought Stan was going to help it a little bit, but I'll be honest. It hasn't really hit my radar. I've consumed a little bit of its content, but
I haven't seen any of it, with the greatest respect to rugby. I haven't watched a single minute, but I have seen heaps of really good tries. Like when Australians are playing Australians, there is an equal level of, or equal lack of ability, with the greatest respect, but it's just that there's been some very fucking good tries.
There's been tries scored. Yeah. That's what I know for sure.
that's what we can confirm.
Yeah.
And some have been pretty good. I haven't subscribed yet. I find I've already got Stan. Do I want to get Stan Sport? Maybe. Not right now.
No. Certainly not while they're not sponsoring us, Eddie.
No. Look, if they want to give us free Stan, I'm happy to promote it.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'll need free Stan.
Well, we need some sort of a code, some sort of a login.
Yeah.
all right.
Is
well,
this about us? Yeah.
They won't answer my email, so I can't help you.
Fuck those guys. then.
Actually, no, I take that back.
Take it back as well.
Yeah, one did answer my email. Anyway, molten
Rugby League
lava,
podcast. Rugby League
hot
podcast.
piss. Asada ban. It has come down. Bronson Xerri, one of the great throbbers of Cronulla, gone for 4 years. He's put a post up, basically implying he was trying to get back quickly. People don't appreciate all the work he's done to get where he is. He's not a drug cheat in the sense that he didn't use it all the way. The implication was he was just trying to get back. What are your thoughts on the 4-year ban? Is it fair? Is it unfair? Will we see Bronson again?
I mean, you can't piss something as hot as Bronson pissed and not get 4 years. That thing was as hot as the centre
Smell
of
of
the
the
sun.
cup. That's what we've been told. We've got people on the inside, got people at Asada, friends that whisper nothings in our ear.
One of the poor bastards lost a finger.
He lost a foot. It came out of the cup, and he's lost his big toe. He can barely walk. He's lost all his balance. So, 4 years is a minimum.
4 years a minimum. I'm surprised he didn't, surprised it wasn't worse. Considering how hot Bronson's piss was.
That's right.
It was fucking hot.
maybe if the toe wasn't lost, you could argue too, but,
I do feel sorry for him because he's a dumb kid who did something dumb. But it also kind of works in his favour in that he can come back in 4 years if he...
He'll only be 23.
Yeah.
Well,
That's crazy.
he's got this season, next season, and the season after.
No.
If you think of
Oh, sorry, you're right.
2023.
Yeah.
If you just break it
It's
down to
backdated
seasons.
too. Backdated.
Yeah, right. So he's had one season.
Yeah.
I
He's
think
done
so.
one
Yeah,
season.
he's done
Yeah.
one season. So, I mean, from a player that played it, bit of footy for the mighty Brisbane Broncos dynasty,
What a club.
anyway, who's won you won a premiership more recently, eh?
Yeah. 2008,
No
2011.
spoons. And no spoons.
No spoons.
Yeah, that is
Which you now have.
Anyway, as an athlete, I'm I would consider myself friends with Bronson. I think he's a good guy or whatever. But at the same time, I never ever considered performance enhancing.
Did you ever get offered?
Never got offered. Never got spoken about. So when people are always like, "Oh, there's heaps of steroids in rugby league," honestly, it never. It just didn't exist. It was never spoken about. There was never... The only time when you ever got needled was when you're in pain or when you needed swelling to go down. Now, did I know it was in the needles? No. But there was never a time of like, hey, bro, take this fucking estrogen blocking whatever. There's none of that talk. So for him to go out and take it to get back quicker, although he is young, I still think he deserves a 4-year ban. Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but it's mate, it's black and white. This shit.
He also
if
had
you get
like,
tested, it's 4 years. That's it.
But he also was like, again, just from memory, and I haven't done any recent research into this, but it was like he had a cocktail of shit in his system.
It was legit stuff too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, with a peptide, the old peptides they were taking, they are just like more for recovery. So like the benefit that if they were taking it, whoever was taking the peptides, the benefit they were getting is they would be able to train harder for longer and recover quicker. My understanding, and again, this is not facts, I could be wrong, but my understanding, Bronson was taking some pretty like heavier stuff than that.
Yeah.
So genuine performance-enhancing stuff. He said it was for recovery and it would help recovery. What is interesting, though, when I seen him before this all blew up, I literally said to him, I said, bro, you're fucking huge.
Well, there you go.
Makes sense.
It works.
And he was quick as fuck.
Yeah, he was quick as shit. Roger Fabry, who is one of my favourite...
Roger Fabry,
who's one of my favourite,
the most elite sprint coach, at least in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, without a doubt. But, like, he is such a fucking great random rugby league character who's just in and around the game. And, like, whenever there's a player who's, like, coming back from something, Roger's always talking to Danny Wilder or someone on
If you're
Channel
down
9.
and out in the gutter and you roll over, Roger's there.
Roger's there to help you back on
and
your
he'll
feet.
get you back up.
And he'll fucking gas you up. He'll talk you up. He was like, and that's what was happening with Bronson. He's like, I've never seen a man quicker on God's green earth. And then it was like, oh, well, that's why.
Yeah.
But I tell you what,
Had like horse cum in his veins.
If Bronson puts his head down for the next 3 years and focuses on his stride and his cadence, he'll come back bigger and better than ever.
Well,
from that I'm convinced.
Cadence key.
Do you get tested
You come
in
back
these
as
4
the king
years?
of cadence.
Do you get tested? Does he get tested in these the time that he's out now?
No, he can do it. I'm pretty sure he's not registered to
So
anyone.
he just could do whatever the fuck. And not that he would, but you could theoretically do whatever the fuck you want.
He should come back a machine because he's got 4 years. He has been doing a lot of boxing. He said he's got a big announcement to come.
I've been watching him and his brother. I follow his brother on Instagram.
Oh, is that the announcement? Oh, I thought it was cadence related.
There is a bit of cadence with
Given
boxing.
that Roger Fabry put the photo up.
Well, footwork is a big part of boxing. You need good footwork to be a good boxer. So, Roger could be moving into another sport, multi-sport sprints coach.
Trainer. Is Bronson allowed to fucking do anything else?
I'm not sure because it's a SADA and they're linked to WADA.
He wouldn't be able to do anything.
Surely not.
Surely you can't be.
But he's been boxing and making a point of everyone seeing him boxing. Maybe he goes overseas and boxes. I'm not sure. But he said there's a big announcement coming. What I can say is if there's one thing rugby league loves, it's a redemption story.
Big time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, redemption story outside of a headline, it's what we do.
If he can just keep his shit together for 3 years, which I don't know, how easy that is, but you go and just get a job somewhere, do your boxing, hang out with Roger Fabry, and then come back.
Roger Fabry could mould him as his
protege.
Yeah.
I don't think Roger's ever spent this much time with someone.
No.
We could be looking at
one of the
great redemption stories of all time. If Roger gets one-on-one unfettered access for 3 years, mate, there's no telling what he could come back as. Holy shit!
Mate,
I'm excited now. I'm actually pumped.
We need a documentary crew down there
following this thing, dude. 30 for 30 with Roger Fabry.
Holy shit! What's that space?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Well, that's good shit.
To be fair, Bronson did say watch this space.
He did.
Well,
say
there
that.
you go.
There you go.
There you go. And honestly, good luck to the dude. It sucks. It's unfortunate. You fucked up. Life's not over. But it's just
at least he's got time on his side. He's only young.
Yeah,
he can come back and do it.
He can definitely come back.
And everyone knows that he was at least I believe that he was doing it to come back quicker from some injury. Just made a young, dumb decision. So I won't see him as some sicko drug cheat. Do you know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
He's a drug cheat. That just is what it is, right? That's just what it is.
But I'm prepared to just move on.
You let it go.
Yeah.
But there's you can't be I'm not a drug cheat. It's that's complete bullshit because you absolutely are.
Technically.
In the very definition.
I get that. I'm just saying I'm prepared to look past it.
I'm gonna let it go. Completely let it go.
But you need it on the table there.
You can't just go, no, I'm not. Well, fucking yeah. Anyway.
No, I think that look, I think the redemption story will be good. I'm of the mind of he deserved what he got, but now I'm all about he got the punishment. They're going to be people that are going to be, he's a drug cheat forever. People are going to say that forever. But I think that once he serves his punishment, I'm all for giving him an equal opportunity at excelling in whatever he does.
Definitely.
You can't, if you keep punishing a man after he's been punished officially, where does it end?
Yeah.
So
what's the point in having an official channel if you're going to... No, it's absolutely. After 4 years, he's good. Come back. Rip and tear. Rip and tear.
And come back with Roger. It's going to be special.
I can't fucking wait for that. I can't wait for that.
If you're a Blues fan,
get
ready.
pumped.
Mate, he'll be 23. That's what's shocking. 23. Some people don't even debut. Like Cody Walker debuted at 26.
26, yeah.
He's 23.
Yeah.
23, king of cadence. Roger Fabre in the back
Fast as fuck. Roger there.
Fast as
3
fuck.
years to do whatever you want.
To be fair, when you obviously it's better to be playing footy, 100%. But if you can go, because he's more of an athlete than a footy player. 3 years no contact with Roger. He actually, all jokes aside, will come back fucking peak.
That's why I was so excited before. He's not an out-and-out, eyes-up footballer. He's an athlete.
He's not GI.
He's a thoroughbred.
He's a thoroughbred.
Spat all over the mic. You are excited.
I need some Dettol.
I'm pumped. Spray this fucking thing down.
But as I said, definitely deserved the punishment, but good luck to his road to recovery, and hopefully he can fucking teach some young kids it's definitely not worth it.
Yes.
Because with footy as well, because it's such an aerobic thing, yes, it's going to help getting on the juice, but also it doesn't help you that much because it's all about mental toughness, rugby league. It's not really how many guys have you seen that are big and strong and fast or whatever, and then you look at a guy with Jake Travojevich's body and he'll chop him in half every day of the week.
Yeah.
So anyway, good luck to his recovery. I'm glad it's sorted for him now. He can move forward. But on to huge clash. Penny Panthers versus the Storm. Cleary has been named at 7. Still doubt over whether he'll play due to getting knocked out last week. And did he get knocked out?
Right, he got...
Wow. Did you see the hit?
Yeah.
Is it Dallin?
Dallin?
Dallin fucking...
But he
copped an initial one and then kept running and copped the full whack on the second time round.
It shows you, because Dallin's done that a few times and nailed it. It shows you it's a fucking fine line between greatness and nearly killing a guy.
Luckily, Cleary's got such a chin on him that it didn't kill him. If he did, I think that was half the thing. It's like a bumper bar in the front of his face.
No, it is. That's by definition, the chin's always been the bumper bar of the head. Always has been.
Always.
That's what my old man taught me anyway. He could have been wrong.
Lead with the chin.
Lead with the chin. Remember that? Lead with the chin. Put the bumper bar out there, and he's got a fucking hell of a bumper bar.
He does. Hey.
Who has got a stronger bumper bar? Crichton or Cleary?
Crichton's cheating a little bit with the goatee. It's like Crichton's got a great...
And by bumper bar, we're talking bull bars here.
Yeah, bull bar. Sorry, you're right. Crichton, phenomenal chin, but I do think... And we've actually been sort of keeping our eye on great chins in world sport for probably 5 years now. It's something that we've been,
Well, look, we dedicate a lot of time to it, rightly or wrongly.
Yeah. Who knows whether it was time well spent.
It's about to pay dividends.
It's about to right now. Cleary does have probably one of the great chins in world sport, probably the best in the NRL at the moment. Willie Mason's grew over time. That thing was that thing's still going. Willie, don't hurt me.
He kept making improvements.
Yeah, that chin has continued to grow, but I think currently in the NRL right now it'd be Nath. Crichton's is delightful,
but he's wool pulling you a little bit by getting the hair on the
Bit of
end.
filler.
It makes it look
adding a couple of inches.
It's filler.
Yeah,
Boyd's
filler.
got a good chin, but that's more arse chin related. That's just a nice chin to look at.
Well, it's the black hole of chin.
Yes,
he's got a bum. He's more of a bum chin sort of guy.
The event horizon.
Yeah. Bum chins are a different subcategory. We can hear all day.
So Boyd
Boyd
and Cam Smith are in the bum chin category.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you've got Crichton and Cleary. But I think Cleary's jaw, it plays. I think the chick's it's a masculine
it looks
trait.
good. It looks good. It's like it looks like the lower half of a horse's mouth. It's fucking humongous, but it looks like it doesn't.
Love him.
It doesn't look weird on him.
Exactly.
It's like he's a handsome man.
Very handsome.
Just has a full blown chin.
Do you think if a normal human being got head high like that, he'd be dead?
Completely.
Easily. Well, that was the original
That
point.
was it. That was
Right.
we could have seen. We're
would've been
just
the- it
lucky
would've
it was Nathan.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would have seen a death.
We would have seen the death of a New South Wales heart. That would have been terrible.
Mainly for origin reasons.
Well.
But
That's right. But be that as it may, will he play? Will he not? I like to think he plays. Now, Obviously, flooding happening around that area, the Nepean, Penrith area. I think that deep down, the people of Penrith need to see a famous win against people that fucking did them over in the grand final. What better time than this at home? Apparently, he's passing all the tests he needs to. I think if he gets the light, if he's there or thereabouts, I think they'll let him play and I reckon he rips and tears. I could be wrong.
I think it's the opposite. I think... I could be wrong.
In spite of everything you've just said.
I think it's the opposite in the sense that, like, it's a head knock. Even if he's 90%, the last thing you want him to do is get another head knock and then exacerbates the problem, and he's taken, 6 weeks to recover.
Yeah.
It's such a long season. It's a huge match. You just know the Storm are going to be shooting out of the line at him just to rattle him, even just to make him think about it for a second. They got Burton. They got Tyrone May. I actually think the opposite, that they'll bring... he's been named at 7, but he won't play. I think it's... Burton has been named at, 19th man. They got Tyrone May on the bench. I think it's too early to risk him. I think, he doesn't need the match fitness.
Also, isn't the rule with concussions that it's got to be like a 6-day... You need 6 days from a certain concussion?
It's a 5-day turnaround as well.
That's it. It's a 5-day turnaround. But
that mustn't be
6
written
days.
in stone, though.
No,
otherwise you wouldn't be named.
No. It's obviously not, but it was like the advice from the doctors or whatever is like 6 days. So, I
don't think he'll play, honestly. I don't think he'll play.
If he plays, I think they win.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, look, I just say that because... that's what I said in our betting show, but and I'm trying to remember the reason that I gave
half an hour ago.
and I can't remember exactly what I fucking said, but well, I think it was more Eddie getting me up and about for the flood. It was the flood chat that sort of got me excited. I was like, yeah,
Okay. So
and
Harry Grant's still out. Storm lose to the...
Yeah, but Penrith covering the line at home, 10 of the last 11 starts, stuff like that got us up and about.
So if he doesn't start... Is it 100% Storm win?
I think 100%, yeah.
Probably.
See, I think it could be a...
Harry Grant's still not playing, and the Storm didn't look that good when the pressure was on.
I know Cleary is unbelievable, but the Eels just beat them 16-14. You can't tell me that Penrith side with that mammoth forward pack, with Jerome Luai leading the troops, Burton comes in, or Tyrone May. Are you telling me that side's that much worse than the Eels that just beat them 16-14?
Definitely not.
No, definitely not. But Nathan's such an integral part of that side, and I just haven't seen a whole lot of the current Panthers play without him. I just can't. I don't know. You know what I mean?
How they would play
I just don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jerome Luai's very good. He
was great on the weekend as well.
He was great.
Done.
Is he, and this is a question more than an opinion, but is he taken a game on his back before and just fucking won it for the side? I don't know if I just haven't seen that.
He's the perfect, when we're talking about Milford the other week, he's not like Milford in the sense, he's like Milford in the sense.
Well, he's good. So he's...
yeah, exactly.
He's, winning side, he's playing grand finals and fucking... with the greatest respect.
Yeah, I mean, they've both played one grand final.
Yeah, that's true.
But Jerome Luai, I don't see him as the organiser. I don't see him as the guy that's going to lead them around the park. I'm not saying that doesn't make him a bad player. He's just not that type of player. But I do see Burton coming in, and they're just lifting the team enough they just focus on their forward pack, because their forward pack is just outrageous. It's just so strong. But without Cleary, I just think it's going to be a tight... I don't think you can write them entirely off if Cleary doesn't play.
I think it'd be interesting to see how Matt Burton goes. There's been all the yarn around, let him go to the Dogs, what's going on? It's now you're going to see what he's made of. You're letting him come in. Well, if Cleary doesn't play, obviously. But
I just think it'd be crazy to play him, because it was only 5 days ago. There's no way he's fully recovered yet.
But what about the floods, Denon?
I mean, that's
the only thing. That's the floods. You got to do it for the area.
Do it for the area. I could be wrong, but I think you do it for the area.
You reckon? Well, I mean, footy does have a tendency to be toughen up, get out there, all that kind of stuff.
The concussion thing at the moment, though, is a bit more it's pretty...
5 days, he got fucking...
If you're playing smart footy, he's getting rested.
I think so. He's so... and the problem with head knocks is if you get another head knock, it's not something where it's okay, it's just going to be 2 weeks. Sometimes it can last fucking 12 weeks where they're getting headache. I mean, it happened to me. I got head knocks in my last year, and it took me a few weeks before I was fucking feeling it. You just feel fucked. You can't think properly. Fucking lights hurt in your eyes. So I just think it's too risky at the start of the season, especially when you don't need the 2 points.
Yeah.
You're going to get the 2 points.
Yeah.
You have talked me into Panthers still being strong without him, though.
Yeah.
which I'm feeling good about. But my super coach, where I'm like, I'm all at sea if he doesn't play.
Mate, you know what? I just think that their fundamentals are so fucking good. I know Cleary's kicking game's outrageous, but I just think that we looked last week with the Eels, and the Eels just managed to hang in there with the Storm. They don't have the Cameron Smith to break games open as much anymore, so could be a closer game. But if I was a betting favourite, I would say Cleary out, Storm favourites, Cleary in, Penrith favourites, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But your final tip?
Thank you, Eddie.
Well, it depends. Oh, come on.
Don't sit on the fence, mate.
But it's on the fence whether he's going to play it.
I'm gonna balls up. I'm gonna man up. I'm taking Panthers -1.5. I think that's the line, and I think they cover it. I think they cover the line.
Panthers 1-12, flood-based selection. Ivan is living with Nathan at the moment.
That's huge. Yeah,
that's
is
what
huge.
I'm saying.
But that could be also because he's got headaches.
That's true. And maybe that's also something. Is Dad going, you know what? You're
No,
my
Dad's
son.
house flooded.
Yeah, Dad's house flooded.
Is that a cover, though, because he has headaches?
That's it. Nathan's got headaches. The house didn't really flood. Like, I've got a
Cuddle him
three-story
to
house. I'm
bed,
sure I could fucking
read him
move up to the
nursery
top
rhymes.
level, massage the chin.
He's got a little boo-boo lying in bed.
Either way,
A lot of
Panthers,
unknowns. A lot of unknowns.
flood bet, Panthers 1-12.
I'm going to go Storm.
Okay.
I'm going to go Storm. I just think that if Cleary doesn't play, it'd be an extremely tight game.
You literally just took me into how
I know.
Panthers.
He's talking.
He spent 20 minutes.
He's brought you
20
into this
minutes.
room
No.
and then gone, I'm going.
No. Panthers, if Cleary plays, Panthers. If Cleary doesn't play, I'm going Storm.
That's literally the opposite of what
Okay,
you
all
said.
right, then I'll go Storm. I'll go Storm then. Storm
Yeah, he's got
1-12.
Storm.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Beautiful.
Any matchups that interest you? We've got
Crichton Olam's pretty hot.
that is really hot.
That's a really
I don't
hot.
understand. He's on the Olam's on the left side.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at him as
the
they
numbers.
line
Yeah,
up
yeah.
next to each other. You're right.
And
I'm
Crichton.
excited to see how Charlie Stones goes this week. Like, I'm just.
There's been a lot of raps on him.
There's been so much raps, and you know he's young, but he's had such killer performances when he's played. Like I think he averaged like 100 in Supercoach, and he's been very quiet from that perspective.
And would he have
Appy's
been
out.
everyone?
Appy's out.
Oh yeah, Appy's out
That's
as well.
a huge out.
but Brandon Smith's out.
No,
Brandon Smith's
sorry,
in.
Harry Grant's out.
Harry Grant's out. Appy's out. Sorry.
Yeah, but Mitch Kenny, Brandon Smith. I'd probably go.
So
for
who's
Brandon
their
Smith.
nine?
Mitch Kenny.
Mitch Kenny.
He's solid and he's relatively
He's no
young.
Brandon Smith yet.
But Appy Coruscant, before Appy Coruscant came to the Panthers, they couldn't even make the 8.
Yeah, Appy is a fucking weapon.
So I'm going Storm.
Appy
definitely.
should still be manly.
So now you're going Storm.
as a side note.
Definitely going Storm. I forgot that Appy was out. I apologise. I've taken you down the flood water without the raft.
You've taken us down the Nepean and kicked us out of the boat.
Yep.
I'm still going
I
Penrith.
still think they go the big lift for
Yeah.
the people during
Okay.
trying times.
Yep.
Okay.
Isaiah, good Dubbo stock. He'll lead them on. He'll lead them to glory.
Yeah.
Dragons.
Isaiah, I saw a video that the Pants put up on their Instagram of Isaiah's folks like presenting his 150th jersey. I am not here if Isaiah's dad is not 15 years older than him. Like his dad is
That's
the
how they
youngest.
do it in Dubbo.
His dad is the youngest man I've ever seen in
Tank
my
water
life.
out there? Good tank water?
Yeah, good tank
there's
water.
tank water
People
in
jump
Dubbo.
on early.
But I'm telling you,
why
Isaiah's
not?
dad.
Nothing else to do.
Isaiah's dad was a young dad. That's all I'm saying. This is
right.
match of the round.
Match
This
of the
one.
round.
Dragons v the Seagulls.
In the time slot of the round as well. This is where
6
they put the
p.m.
high profile games.
Yeah, this is the game that everyone wants
Friday
to watch.
night. Now, I think this is a huge clash, obviously, for both clubs. I think it's actually more important for Manly than it is for Dragons
Yep,
because Manly need a win. They're desperate.
correct. How good's Jason Saab looking maroon, by the way? Can I just point that out for a second? Fuck, he looks
He
good.
does. He's an athletic freak.
Humongous.
Saab will be looking to make a statement against his old club.
Look, I think with the Seagulls, watching over the last few weeks, like they're big money players. I think just like the Broncos need to deliver.
Yeah.
I think they will.
Because I'm a huge fan of Foreign and DCE, but their partnership just hasn't fired yet.
Which I can
surprising.
like. It's surprising, but it's also 2 rounds in.
You get
I'm prepared to allow
You get
like a
Roosters round 1 who just jump you and strangle you and keep you underwater for 45 minutes.
Fair, Roosters, Rabbitohs. Yeah.
And then Rabbitohs was like, it was wet.
We've got the two
You get a
arguably
dry
two
track,
biggest best teams in the comp.
you get Wynn Stadium, Wollongong football. I think they turn it on big.
Yeah, fair enough. Because this is a gauge test in the sense of obviously they're not at the Rabbitohs and Roosters level, but Dragons, if you're going by roster and that, you'd say Manly should win, by 12 to 14. If
13 plus, yeah.
Yeah, by rosters and by the last few years. Obviously, they're missing Tommy. But there's a lot of confidence. Benny Hunt had a fantastic game last week. He put it
did.
this way, I've seen more good signs out of the Dragons than Manly this year.
Yes.
No offense.
No, that's fine. Dragons have played the Cowboys and the Sharks.
Yep.
So, Manly's played Rabbitohs and Roosters. And we essentially, Eddie and I, looking at that game on the weekend, a couple of drop balls go our way. The weather's a bit better. That
Alex
was basically
Johnson's
try late.
Try late. They don't count.
That was basically a golden point game.
Seriously, you could look at it that way. I mean,
I'm allowing you to.
it was a golden point game.
We basically went down a golden
the
point.
Bunnies stole late. Now, it was driving rain. We're still learning. Kieran and
I tell you what, it was Latrell.
Daly haven't made love for a long time. Like, they're learning each other's bodies again.
Exactly.
I tell you what, you really, really miss Adam Fanua, Blake.
Dude,
Like,
we just don't have
Well,
that.
Paseka's starting this week. He's going to more grunt.
Paseka was good when he came on. He did change the momentum, had some good, strong runs. Can he play the longer minutes, though? That's the question.
He's going to have to.
He's going to have to.
He doesn't have a choice.
No.
It's get on with the job.
I think
Marty Tapau was good on the weekend.
Josh Aloiai, who's made way for Paseka, we're obviously happy Josh is at the club. Big fans of Josh. Josh, though, has come from one of the lamest clubs in the NRL, and so I think he's still trying to work out how it's played, how the game's played at a real club. So that's why I think Des has gone, listen, bro, we'll put you back to the bench. You can sort of just watch on the sidelines.
Watch and learn.
Watch and learn. Bring Paseka on. He's 6'8", fucking humongous, and he's just going to rip people apart.
He is a giant, Paseka.
Lachlan Croker, I thought, played pretty well on the weekend, and Martin Tapau was excellent. And I think we just assert ourselves early and roll.
Okay.
And give the boys a bit of space.
Now, Denon,
Give Foz and Cherry a bit of space.
Eddie and I never played rugby league. Some of you may know that, but we're obviously chock full of opinions. You made a big song and a dance about, we're going to lose Josh Schuster. Where's Josh going to go? Shiny Josh, the greatest fucking talent in NRL history coming through.
We said bullshit. We called bullshit.
We called bullshit because we know Josh personally.
And we know the game.
And we know the game. Josh re-signed till 2024. Now he's starting at lock. What do you got to say for yourself?
Well, I think it actually proved my point. I said you've got to get him in the side. Otherwise, he's out of here. You've put a
true,
number
you did say
6,
that.
7 at 12.
Yeah, but
He's 95 kilos and he's like 2 meters tall.
Bro,
Yeah.
And he's hottest.
terrible for his development. Get him in the... You need
to
him
dominate.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is if he gets oosed, confidence down the drain. Now, I'm not saying he is going to get oosed, but he's a young body. He doesn't have his man strength yet. And I worry... it's great that he's inside and he's a gun. But the worry is when you're trying to develop these guys... Look at the Broncos. You were all these young superstars and getting pumped every single week last week.
Yeah.
And all of their confidence
Would you
is
call
gone.
them superstars?
They were young superstars.
In underage.
Underage.
So Josh Schuster, the thing, it's good. Put it this way, he'll either sink or swim.
Yeah.
If he responds really well to this, it could be fucking fantastic because then you've got a number 6 that can defend in the middle and hard, and his ball playing skill is all there. Plus, he's getting the match fitness he needs. So if Foreign and DCE isn't working, you can push him into that 6 role. I think it's smart by the club regardless because you needed to keep him.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's not the reason you're losing games. So you needed to get him on the park, so he signed it over the dotted line. And it's quite funny that he gets 2 games. In the second week, they announce he resigns.
He also looks like a swimmer to me. Just pointing that out.
Yeah, right. So if it's a sink or swim situation, he
He's
looks
swimming.
like he's...
Oh, okay.
He's swimming every day of the week.
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you there. What do you make of the Dragons so far, right? Did they go close against the Sharks and then beat the...
They came back into it, and then the Sharks kicked on again. So it was like 2-point game, and then the
Sharks ran away with it. And then they beat the Cowboys, which is, I mean, if you're a Cowboys fan, fucking pack it up. Year's over. But, I mean, you can't really take much from
What I
those
like about the Dragons,
performances,
though, is they've got a 9, 6, and 7 that have all played together, a lot of footy. They gel well. They play each other. They gel much better at the moment than Foreign, DCE, and Lachlan Croker.
Foreign and DCE have won a comp. Just putting that out.
Yeah, they
About
just got
20 years ago.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago.
But,
No, I'm with you.
mate,
But,
it's like
but
riding a bike.
your 9 is the link with everything. And I just think that at the moment, Croker is still finding his feet. And then your fullback, he's new to fullback position. Whereas they've got, in the key positions, they've got guys that have played a lot of footy together. Hunt and Norman have played heaps of footy together. McCulloch grew up playing with them. And then Dufty has been with Hunt and Norman for ages. So I just think in that key position, when it comes to getting to certain parts on the field, completing your sets, fucking good, putting plays on, I think that's the up that Dragons have over the Manly side. This
Also, Blake Laurie could be the greatest nut trucker of all time. Like,
mate.
the man just lives for, like, all Blake does with the greatest, this is no disrespect, but just trucks nut, right?
No, but that is respect.
Morning, noon, and night, give me the ball.
He's up at first light.
He's not necessarily, I don't know what his PCMs would be, probably not anything to write home about, but he's certainly, like, just trucking the fuck out of that thing, right?
Well, you don't have to be a PCM machine to be a pure trucker of nut.
I'd say truckers of nut almost don't get PCMs.
They usually get
just
pushed.
they just like
they hit the line and get pushed backwards, but they truck nut.
They truck nut
Wayne
hard.
Hale or
They
Shine.
give you the 6 to 7 meters every run.
Yeah.
Ust, play the ball.
That's it.
Then,
Go
you
for a
know,
breather. Come
yeah.
back on. Go for a breather.
I also think, Vaughan, he's got a good bit of good foot in. Martin Tapau's obviously fantastic. Look, I'm going to tip the Dragons. Boys.
Oh, you bastard.
Are you serious? I've got Manly 13 plus.
Yeah, we
13
both have
plus.
Manly 13 plus. There was some stat that was like...
What was that face?
I missed it. Did he pull a face at us?
He put a face.
Jesus
He pulled
Christ.
a face.
They're apparently, like, in the last few, maybe like 4 or 5 games between these two teams, it's been a blowout either way. So,
Okay.
Manly to blow out the Dragons. Cade Custin aside as well. I've said...
Didn't he get knocked out last week as well?
Cade, I missed it. I was at a wedding.
Yeah, he did.
I heard
Yeah,
he
he
watched
did.
it. Cade got knocked out.
Put his head on the wrong side of the tackle.
Yeah, there you go.
But
He's
Cade's
back.
a Cade.
He's back.
He is a Cade.
He's a Cade.
He's
Cades
built
are
for it.
always good to go. I think Cades are immune from concussion protocols. I think they are. I think that's like
That's a thing.
it's a bylaw.
So we're going Manly 13 plus.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
I'm
going-
bullish. I'm so bullish on it.
Yep.
I'm going Dragons 1 to 12.
You've lost your mind.
Now what a fucking clash, honestly.
This is so good.
What a fucking
The
clash.
games this week are rippers. Absolute rippers.
Oh,
at this.
Crichton's back in.
Crichton's back in 1
Oh,
match suspension.
huge. I
Latrell-
thought he was 2 games out for some reason.
I think because he pled guilty or some shit,
got
like it
the-
brings it
yeah,
down or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you've got good, you don't have many points. But you look at these rosters and, outside of the forward pack, like, they're pretty even.
Yeah.
I'd go Murray over Luai. I'd go Tupanua just over Sewer, but I'd put him on the equal playing field. I'd go Angus over
Kolomatangi.
then you go Tokiaho just over Tavita. You'd go Cook over Lussick. You'd go Thomas over Lindsay, even though Lindsay playing good footy. So that's kind of like 1 for 1.
Yeah.
And then you look at their back line, and it is basically, you'd probably actually choose. I know Keary's been playing good, but I'd go Walker. Reynolds is probably a more well-oiled combination than Lamb. Keary.
Yeah.
Certainly is a combination.
Lamb's been looking good, though, early on.
But
Well,
Reynolds and
energy-
Walker played so much.
No, I know.
footy.
Look, I'm not saying he's better than Walker and Keary, but Lamb's looked good. I was watching him, watching the Tigers. I was like, oh, Lamb's actually got a bit about him.
I like the energy he plays with. Like,
Yes.
high energy, in your face. If you if you just drop off for a minute, he's going to take advantage. Sometimes that can work against him where he doesn't change his tempo up a bit. Sometimes he's constantly running at
Too much
speed. Whereas like guys like Joey and they were so good at sometimes they would nearly walk to the line.
Yeah.
Current guys like Reynolds and Walker, sometimes when you watch their structured plays, they're nearly walking, but they're just squaring the defence up so well. Whereas sometimes if you don't change your rhythm enough, you just run sideways and then the defence slides. But I've loved Lachlan Lamb's energy. And also, Keary can take care of all that shit. He doesn't need to fucking be doing that. But I just can't. Latrell Mitchell versus Tedesco. Latrell against his old club.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a fucking matchup, isn't it? And
And they're going to be there at the end of the season.
Yep.
yeah.
And old, foundation clubs absolutely hate each other.
I wish they played
Bunnies
Suwali.
pounded them.
Yeah, it was
Last year. It was like 60 to fucking. You're telling me they have forgotten that? No way.
Yeah, but
mate. they were embarrassed.
I can't believe now. When it happened, I thought it was crazy. But looking back to see this Roosters side get pumped by 60,
Major.
it's outrageous.
It's
madness.
ridiculous. This is also a Roosters side right now, though, without Boyd Cordner and Jake Friend, which is also just sickening to think about in terms of what they can bring back
And
in.
Verrills as well.
And Verrills.
Well, yeah.
And there's one man that I want to talk about. The great Victor Radley returns from an ACL.
Victor.
God, I've been waiting for that.
I saw Victor at a cafe on the weekend with Sam Verrills and Jake Friend, so I loaded up on Roosters 13+, thought it was a good omen. It came off. But he was looking good. He was looking very good.
What was his energy like?
Just relaxed, mate. Just relaxed and happy. They were all giggling. They were literally right next to us.
Did
And
he
my
look
missus
like-
was like, do I know those people? I was like, yeah, they're footy players. She
Did you
was like,
say
"Yeah,
anything?
No, I didn't say anything.
Did he look like he was ready and hungry to snap? They
ate well, but they ate healthy, and they were just having a laugh. I was
I'll tell you what is dangerous. Roosters boys at a cafe giggling over coffee. That's when you know they're on. They're coming in real hot.
That's Roosters 101.
Yeah, absolutely.
Giggling over a couple of lattes.
I think Victor comes on and just inserts himself into the game and just
voluntary and involuntary inserts.
I will say this though, Benji Marshall impressed me last week.
He's been the momentum. We take the piss, but there was a period there where Manly were getting on top of Rabbitohs last week. Benji comes on,
when he went through the line
and then changed the whole game.
Mate, pouring rain, falling to his knees, flick pass, unbelievable.
I think
off the ground.
I'm going to go. I think the Roosters are going to get the win. Partly because when you look at their bench, bro, when you got Hargreaves on the bench, you got Victor Radley coming on to kill someone.
Mate, the Roosters are so fucking stacked.
It's outrageous.
It's a joke.
I actually, the teams, just looking at them, obviously the teams are great. The Rabbitohs, though, haven't been that good to start the year. Everyone's talking about them being like premiership favourites, right? They lose to the Storm and then at points looked like Manly was coming back. You know what I mean? Like they weren't. The Roosters have just looked so hot, so untouchable, just like not really a chink in their armour at any point the whole time. I'm like...
Having said that, they have played Manly and West Tigers. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, completely.
The problem with the Rabbitohs is their completion rate in both games has been shocking. And if you do that against the Roosters,
they're just going to rip you apart. So I actually think, whilst I'm super excited for the game and it's hectic, I have taken the Roosters 13+.
13+?
Yeah.
I've got Roosters 1-12.
Then you add on the fact they got pumped 60 last year, so they're going to be so keen for this game.
So keen.
Yeah, I just think that the Roosters, they're too well-oiled right now. Their completions were nearly 90% last week. Tigers' completion last week was 88%, and they got beaten by 40.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that.
Mate, the Roosters are so well-oiled at the moment.
And I also think...
Brett Morris, I think he's paying $1.67 anytime try scorer. Which, that's almost going to be the shortest.
That's almost a good value bet. Because he's going to fucking score.
He's definitely going to do it. You may as well just...
Chuck your house.
Don't actually mortgage your house, but if you were going to pick a time to do it, it'd be now.
If you had to sell your house because you're in trouble,
sell it and put it all on Brett Morris.
It's smart footy.
That is smart. That's really
responsibly.
Smart.
Yeah, it's really
responsibly, but bet smart.
Don't think irresponsible, but if you can mortgage,
do it.
Another person that would be looking for a big game, Adam Reynolds, because two reasons: wants the long contract. But also, when you got Benji Marshall coming on playing such good footy, I'm not saying that his position's under pressure, but it still is in the realm of pressure.
Is Benji more half or 5'8"?
I mean, he has played 7.
He's played 7, but
But he went on with Cody and they fucking did fine.
When he came on, did Adam go off? Again, I was at a wedding.
Adam head knock.
Shit.
So Benji goes on, momentum changes. And I'm not saying that his position is threat, but he wants the contract. If he gets injured and then Benji comes in and they start killing it, he'll have to start on the bench, regardless of...
That is just the most disrespectful fucking thing that they could be doing to that bloke at the moment.
I like Benji coming on at 14.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. But it is, okay, who's to say that Benji doesn't win that spot by the end of the year and Adam's coming on? I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that every time Benji comes on and plays really well, it's just an added oh shit, I better keep playing good footy.
Do they only offer Adam 1 year contract?
1 year.
And their excuse was that they don't hand out long-term deals
for 30
anymore?
30 years and older, they don't.
But Josh Mansour, who's above 30 years of age, I believe, got 2
Josh
years.
isn't older than 30, is he?
Yeah, he's older than 30. Yeah.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
He got 2 years.
God, I'm old.
Yeah, I think he did get 2 years. I think he did. I think that's an excuse. I think that they just are trying to play hardball with him right now, trying to get him for as...
cheaper.
If you can get him for 1 year, it's fantastic for them because then they can just re-sign him again next year if he plays good. 2 years... on the other hand,
you wouldn't want to lose him. It's not like there's a shitload of 7s running around.
I tell you who could fucking use him is the Broncos.
Maybe they're looking at Croft. Who knows?
We'll do a swap.
Bruh, they could be going after Tommy Deards. Anyway, we'll get to that. But,
who?
The Rabbitohs. If they're like, well, fuck, we'll give you 1 more year. We'll sign Tommy Dearden, come down to New South Wales. Broncos suck, Tommy. Get out of there. Anyway, that's food for thought, everyone.
Dearden's better off playing Queensland Cup and winning well. You know what I mean? Let's get a W.
All right.
Get the match payment.
Yeah.
So we're going, and he did get man of the match last week for Q Cup.
Don't pick him, though.
Yeah, don't pick him, though. Not a good idea.
We're going Roosters 13+.
Roosters, I'm going Roosters 1-12.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Raiders, Warriors, which I think is going to be a fantastic clash.
and not to make this, I know this isn't the betting show, but I think that it is fucking absurd that the Warriors are $4.25.
That is fucking absurd.
That is ridiculous.
That's crazy talk. Because Raiders should have lost against the Sharks.
Exactly.
Wow, $4. That's pretty fucking mental.
It's outrageous. I will say this. I was all over Newcastle last week, and you talked me into the Warriors, and Newcastle won, and I've just been waiting all fucking week to tell you, thanks for that, mate. You fucked my multis, you fucked my tipping, you fucked everything.
Look, I mean, I thought they were going to win 13 plus.
I know you did.
And they looked red hot. They held red hot Titans to one try in the 70th minute. And the Newcastle Knights, who they play the first round, the Doggies. And the Doggies held a bit of fight there for a bit. And so I just thought the Warriors were going to come out. And
that game still had a bit in it, though, last week, the Knights and the Warriors. Like, it wasn't like either. It was close.
It was close.
Save for Bradman Best being free.
So Warriors were ahead. Last 5 minutes, Bradman Best fucking does a mad flick and they score. Otherwise, Warriors win.
No, I'm with you, but
you fucked me.
My wallet's not.
But yeah, this is a good game. They the Raiders didn't, after killing it the first round, or like super hot again against the Tigers.
Yeah,
so
Tigers.
like, you know, we're getting real honey-dicked early doors because we don't know who's doing what exactly in the early rounds. But the Raiders look great. Last week they looked shit.
They tried to lose that game against the Sharks.
Honestly, it looked like it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Chad from Chad having one of the worst games of all time.
Well, it was the worst.
With the boot.
Yes.
With the boot, then, you know, they would have lost what looked like an unlosable game, right?
Well, it would have been 14,
At half time,
12,
I'm like,
so.
mate, this is fucking
wrap
go
it
to
up.
bed,
Absolutely.
turn it off.
They had their number. It was just a dominant display by a typical Raiders outfit. What's crazy with Townsend, feel sorry for the bloke. The last time he got hooked was in a prelim final against the Raiders. Got taken off the field because he had such a tough game.
And you reckon it was PTSD?
It's fuck. He might have been thinking about it, I don't know, but
We reckon he needs to stop sneaking up on the ball.
Yeah, the way he's approaching, and again, never kicked professionally. I did hit one from the sideline under 14s to draw the game.
Okay.
But Denon, you're probably better.
I was a shit kicker in the NRL.
That's
don't
true,
worry.
you did. You got the yips actually from
Yeah.
Ivan Cleary, I believe. He made you kick and then sacked you. Is
that
what you said last week?
Yeah, no. I said I didn't want to kick anymore, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I was like, "I don't want to kick anymore." He was like, "No, you're kicking." And I was like, "Okay." And
Did you get the Steve Hookers?
Yeah, I got dropped like 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah. Chad creeps up on the ball.
Okay.
He looks like he's trying to scare it.
Okay.
Watch him
Yeah,
when
the
he
ball.
walks up. He's like prowling on the fucking thing. And then obviously he hits the ball and fucks it because it's like, mate, that's not what this is. You don't have
Okay.
to surprise the ball.
So you want a more masculine approach where he's dominating, like letting him know the ball know that he is here.
Who's in charge? Who's in charge of this
Okay.
thing? Is it
Because
the ball?
the ball picks up on energy,
Okay.
and the ball needs an out-and-out alpha throbber to,
Come and boot the fuck out of it.
give it what's what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell it who's the boss.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the thought behind it. The thought process is definitely it
think
makes
it's
sense.
wrong.
It makes sense.
Look, Chad, happy to come down to
Happy to come
Shark
down.
Park
We'll bring down some teas and we'll work through it together.
Yeah.
Look, you're not winning the game sneaking up on anything. That's for sure.
Correct.
You need to control the moment.
Got to control the moment and be like present. I'm here. Acknowledge me.
Yep.
And then kick
Well,
the
when
ball.
Cam Smith kicked it from the sideline and fell over, it was all due to the run-up being so dominant that he fell over. Like, he overdid it and it still went over
He
because it was
blew
a
it.
dominant
The grass exploded underneath his feet.
run-up. So, you know what? You've got a point. You've got a fucking
No, we know we do.
So poor fella, it
Yeah,
seems to be the
it's
Raiders is not a good night for him. But this game, I am actually still going to go. Oh no, they lost. Okay, so Chanel Harris Tavita is out, and he's their 7. They've got a club debutant, which is Sean O'Sullivan, came for the Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's
Has
a
he played
solid
any
7.
NRL yet?
Yeah, he's played a bit for the
So did
Broncos.
he play for the Broncos? I remember being like, was he at the Roosters ever at one point? He was like a young up and coming
Oh,
half.
fuck, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But so that may be why. Put it this way: they're not fucking $4.30, whatever it was. They're not that far away from
Yeah.
getting the victory. And with the way the Raiders played last week, just depends. However the game starts will really dictate the winner. Because if the Raiders start like they finished last week, then the Warriors could just blow them out of the park. I'm not going to say 13 plus again.
No.
I think that the Warriors hang on with an 11.5 point start. I think that's what it is. I like the Warriors to hang on. I think the Raiders win though. I think
the Raiders
win
So
1-12.
they've got Jared Croker back in there as well.
Huge in for
But
them.
Harris Tavita out's massive.
That's
I
a
think he's
massive
out for 12 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
3 months, up to
broke
3
his
months.
ankle. He played he played like the last 15 minutes of the game with a broken ankle or whatever.
Fucking mental.
That's
Are
ridiculous.
you serious?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I
Jesus
can't.
Christ.
My day's over if I stub my toe. That's like a wrap.
No,
he's
it's over.
broken an
You're on the
ankle and
couch.
he's.
I'm up. Ice it, baby. I'm on the.
And so
on the
there's
back.
the Raiders. Is that Sebastian Chris? Is he still playing? He's a bit of a weapon.
He is a weapon, but he got dropped for Jared Croker being the captain.
Yeah.
A lot of people feel that he should have stayed on the bench at least because he was really good. Look, I just think it's one of those things where he's young.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, he's going to get plenty of opportunities.
Yeah.
I think Croker being back, Stewart would have been filthy at the Raiders last week with the way they finished. I think Josh Papali will be able to negate Adam Fanua-Blake. If there's anyone that can stop those PCMs.
Bro, that's the matchup of the fucking
Look
round,
at that
isn't it?
fucking thing, mate.
Look at
Holy
those two
shit.
monsters. That's
absolute
actually
monster.
terrifying to look at.
Mate, that's a battle for the ages.
Yeah.
Like those two. And
Adam Fanua-Blake looks frightening in that photo.
Yeah, but if anyone's going to like not give a shit about that, it's Papali.
yeah, that's true.
100%.
It's going to be an interesting matchup because, you know, you could say Adam Fanua-Blake has been the form front. Maybe James Fisher-Harris and Fanua-Blake, form front roles of the comp. Papali's still been fantastic, but I think that their big, huge weapon in the forward pack gets cancelled out by Josh Papali. Therefore,
Yeah.
Raiders get the win. And I think Hudson Young is a bit more dynamic at the moment than Elisa Katoa because Elisa Katoa is still dynamic, but he just hasn't been as good as Hudson Young. Hudson Young's got man of the match 2 weeks in a row, I think, for the Raiders. Tarpanet cancels out Tohu Harris. They're both fucking great. It's just a great matchup, and that's why I think that the bonus that the Warriors usually have is Adam Fanua-Blake is just outrageously good. But when you've got Papali, who is arguably the best front row of this generation, I think also Hodgson versus Egan. Obviously, Hodgson is the better 9.
The Raiders have just recruited so well, right? Like their team just is so like they've got a few like stars, Papali, White, and Hodgson.
Ryan James comes on and kills it.
Mate,
Is he the
Ryan
boy of the
James
year?
Killing it.
Ryan James is having an absolute blinder, mate.
Yeah,
Killing
dude.
it.
It's fucking killing it.
He's got to be close to buy of the year. Him and Tino.
Bang for buck, he'd be by the year probably now, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't be on a big contract.
No.
It would have been a lifeline contract.
Yeah.
He's come on and his fantasy points are through the roof. Like he's doing just as good as guys like Papali statistics wise.
Mate, he got like 65 last week. He didn't even score a try. Like he's
How-
absolutely
Killing it.
killing it.
How old is Soliola? Because I swear he was playing in like the Roosters 2002
As
grand
centre.
final or some shit. Like
As a centre. No, he's fucking like 35, I think. 34, 35. He's 34, 35.
he just couldn't be anything less than 40. I feel like he's been around for so long.
He has it.
And still great. Like, there's no disrespect there. He's
Yeah.
still a fucking animal, but just he's been here forever.
And just he went from centre and slowly moved his way into front row.
Yeah. You love seeing that.
fucking outrageous.
That was like Ruben Wiki as well, wasn't it?
Crazy,
He was
yeah,
a centre as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
They just get bigger and
Yep.
thicker and bigger and thicker. And then
And older and harder.
And do you know
and
who?
tougher.
Do you know who the guy was at Ruben Wiki? Remember that classic fucking huge hit against the Warriors? Guy runs it straight. The Roosters player. It's like a classic big hit. Anyway,
I'll have to
Roosters
bloody-
player runs it directly straight. Wiki nearly kills him, and it was a Soliola.
there you go. Perfect.
Just ripping and tearing.
And it is an iconic fucking run it straight too. He gets absolutely fucking mate. But like full respect to him.
Yeah.
he literally didn't bend his line. It was fucking mental.
That's great. That's what we plan on doing to Jake Trbojevic post-season.
Just running straight to him.
I would just want him to tackle us.
Just to
Jake,
feel it.
Jake knows that we're in his DMs about it. We just want him to
Just
tackle
to
us.
feel it.
Just to snap us in half.
I'll be padded up though.
Yeah,
Don't
we-
worry about that.
we were.
You can wear the you guys know the full suits you can wear. Usually they're sweet.
we want to wear those suits like, when people are like testing out German Shepherds and shit.
It's
like,
in Entourage when
There's actual
when
footy
Turtle
suits you can
first
get.
gets the Roddy.
No, I want like one where I couldn't, like a German
What about a
Shepherd could
sumo
attack
suit?
me. Yeah, a sumo suit. Well, I can't get up. I want to be able to get a bit of speed up.
Okay.
Well, again, I don't know how I'll do that in a fucking
I
Doberman
don't-
suit or whatever.
Just commit, mate. Just rip it.
Yeah, it's true. Just let him snap us.
So what are we going? Raiders, Warriors.
Look, the Raiders. I think you got to go the Raiders, don't you?
Raiders 1-12.
Broncos $1.70 favourite. Yep, that's
That is.
That is, mate. Bulldogs are value.
So for anyone that doesn't know, the Broncos, if they lose, they equal the record for the most losses by any team in NRL history at 13
Consecutive.
consecutive losses. So I'm on the Bulldogs heavy for this one.
And who have they
Bullish
got
on the
next
Dogs.
week if
They
they
got the
lose?
Storm next week. So if they lose this week, then they'll get the record
So they're
next
a
week.
lock for 14.
They're a lock for 14. So everyone should be sending all the positive vibes. Anyone who hates the Broncos, that is, sending all the positive vibes towards Belmore.
Imagine that. Imagine telling the Broncos that after, with 5 minutes to go in that grand final, which, looked like it had been sewn up. Imagine being like, in a couple of years, you lose this grand final, by the way, but in a couple of years' time, you get the spoon, you end up losing 17, 18, 19, 20 on the trot, and you just become a complete and utter joke.
No, this is the bounce back. This is the, we were talking earlier about redemption stories in rugby league.
Yeah.
This is it. This is where it starts. When the chips are down, this is where men are made, where character is revealed, and that's what's going to happen on the weekend.
You reckon?
We're going to blow.
So what happened? What happened with Tommy Dearden, man of the match on the weekend?
Yep.
And then, look, I did watch the game against the Titans, but maybe you could probably you played for the club and obviously former NRL player. How'd you find the Broncos halves played against the Titans?
Look, I've spoken about this on the review.
Yeah.
And I'm not here to say anyone should or shouldn't be dropped.
Fuck no. But if you had to drop someone.
If I do feel that, Milford or Croft, I do feel Croft needs time to go back and develop his game without the pressure. He looks like he's struggling with confidence. I think Anthony Milford, obviously his defence was an issue because Kevin Walters swapped sides. I actually believe that come kickoff, Dearden will start.
For who?
For the Broncos. Now,
no, but
Oh, really? No, who you taking out?
Look, I just think it'll be...
No, come on.
No, I'm being honest. I think he'll take Croft out due to the fact that if you're Walters, like Milford's your guy. He's on $1 million. If there is someone that's going to turn this around, it's going to be Milford. Croft is a great player, but he doesn't have the same talent as Milford to turn everything around.
Yeah.
Whereas Milford, if he can just flip the switch and there's evidence to suggest Milford is an incredible player, whereas Croft has yet to really fire a shot in NRL. That's no disrespect to Croft. He's a better fucking player than I ever was. But
that's debatable.
But I just think this is first, and I'm not sitting here saying that Kevin Walters should be sacked. I'm not talking about any of that.
Jesus, are we there already?
That was
Bring back Wayne.
No. I'm saying that there were articles beginning to hint is he cut it right?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's the case whatsoever. He needs a good long 2 years to rebuild the damage that's been done prior to him. But what I am saying is this has been his first error. He should have started Dearden at the start of the year. Not only because clearly this didn't work, clearly it was already debatable whether he should have started Croft, but also because we need to keep Dearden. So keep him happy, start him in first grade, re-sign him. And then if it doesn't work out, then you can drop him. But at the moment, the Croft Milford, the opportunities they've had a lot of opportunities to work together. I understand Kevy's new coach, but all you have to do is look at the last year at least. It is not working. So
would you also say then, in terms of that being Kevy's first mistake, but almost the fact that starting Croft at the start of the year was if you'd started Dearden and they weren't winning, you kind of have a bit more of a comfortable excuse. You go, we're giving Tommy a go.
100%.
But to start with Croft and it go wrong is immediately everyone's just going, well, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, it's
bro?
a clear error.
Yeah.
There's no saving grace of he's young, we're trying to re-sign him. It was a huge call and it just hasn't worked. Again, I hope Croft, wish him all the best, with whether he stays inside
next year. He's
whether he stays inside or doesn't. But I do believe that Croft needs to go back, get out of the spotlight, and just play a good season of Q Cup footy. Get confident, find out what his game is instead of worrying about fuck, I've got to be the organizer for Milford. Whereas if he goes back to a Q Cup side, he's going to be confident. He's going to be I'm the fucking guy that's going to take care of this team. Whereas Milford, we don't have the luxury of that. He's on $1 million.
What's Croft on?
He would be on, I'd say he'd be on 500K, which is still a lot. But again, the only person right now, put it this way, if Milford's not in the side, we don't have anyone else that's going to turn us around.
No.
The only one that's shown evidence of superstar quality is Anthony Milford. So we have to stick with him. I know his defence wasn't great and I get all that. But if there is anyone's going to turn around, it's going to be Milford. Dearden needs to get to be in there, in my opinion. I think for Brodie Koff's own career and his own confidence, I would love to just see him get a year under his belt in, whether it's less than a year and he comes back in a few weeks, kills it. But just get some time playing Q-Cup footy, get confident, bring Dearden in, re-sign him immediately. We just re-signed Ricky, which is fucking fantastic. And we can build from there. But look, it's...
How is it being a Broncos fan?
It's been tough. It's been tough.
I was saying to you, I sent you a message when I was watching the Beers and Footy live stream, and I flicked over and I was checking it, and just something happened. I was just like, people around you were talking. Who was it? Who was on?
Rennie,
Scope,
Finch,
Rennie,
Scope.
Finch, yeah. And they're talking, and then you're just watching, and you're like, oh. I'm just hearing these like long exhales, like, oh no, kick it. Why wouldn't he? You're not even involved in the conversation. You're like, why wouldn't he? He should have kicked it. Jesus Christ. I was like that. I was pissing myself. Like, that is.
Well, I'm glad my pain brought you enjoyment, as it seems to.
You're sitting there in a Broncos jersey as well. Like, I mean, here I am, but you're sitting there in the Broncos jersey, and it's just nothing was going right.
To be honest, I don't think I'll do many Brisbane games for the Beers and Footy because I'm too passionate. I'm too emotionally involved. So I can't really execute good content.
Nah, you were still good, dude. Don't take it like that.
Passion's
You were
good,
still
though.
good.
No,
People
it was
like passion.
it was when I like to hurt privately.
Yeah, I get that. Actually, I get that.
Close the door.
I think you hurt privately at 5:30 this Saturday. That's my prediction. I think you hurt.
I tell you, I do like
This
for the
might
Broncos.
be the kick up the arse.
Well, as in, like, they lose this one, and then it's
And
now
then Brody, okay, mate, back to Q Cup. You're starting, you're locked.
Look, I just hope Kevy isn't going down the route of like, all right, boys, I'm being loyal to you. You've got to repay the faith. It's that has already happened for those two boys. Like, Seabold already did that. So this
Professor.
This unique thing where you think that because you're being loyal to them, it just doesn't. It's not working. It's not working.
Does that loyalty thing work as well in clubland?
Confidence-wise, sometimes it does.
Did I hear this correctly? And maybe I didn't. I'm prone to mishearing, but that Croft was being given the first month.
I haven't heard that.
Okay.
Did Kevy say that? Kevy said it.
Do your own research on that one. But I heard or read somewhere that Croft was being given a month.
See, that's just crazy to me.
What was the crazy thing that came out with Seabold last year? He was given he had to win 6 of his remaining 13
or
games.
He was going to get the sack or whatever.
Yeah.
So that is a Brisbane thing.
They love to throw out these.
Give him a month. Give him 4 weeks.
Yeah, win the next 6 of your next 18 games.
When you're 0-4, we'll see what happens.
But look, the good thing for the Broncos is you're coming up against a Dogs side that didn't score a point against the Panthers last week. So it's like, if there's any game you can win, it's this one.
Kyle Flanagan was pumped up last week. Lot of feeling in Kyle's game.
I mean, there was a little bit of back and forth with Jerome Luai. Jerome Luai, noted pest on the field. Noted pest. But couldn't be a nicer bloke off the field, which is usually the case, to be honest.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going Broncos 13 plus.
Ooh,
it's going to be a big
13
win.
plus?
Mate,
Where
when
your
you're in the
points coming
trenches,
from?
when you're in the trenches, you
You
got to
don't
dig
score
deep.
13.
Mate, Tavito Pangai Jr. for 20 minutes tore the Titans apart. He's going to come on. He's going to do that.
Sure. Okay.
Ricky just signed a new deal. He's fucking throbbing to put the jersey on.
Yeah, can't wait.
Milford, his back's against the wall now. Because there's serious conversations here, though. Like, Milford is in a position now where if he doesn't deliver over the next few weeks, his next contract will be 75% less than what his contract is now.
How many more years he got? Is this his last year?
I'm pretty sure this is his last year.
Usually players rip in their last year.
Mate, he's so, think about the last few years this guy's been through. It's just, his confidence would just be shot. As soon as he starts having 1 or 2 errors, that's the problem with having all these young guys. You don't have the old boys to be like, boys, fucking who cares?
Yeah.
Just stick to the process.
What's it also like, just from a Brisbane perspective, the Brisbane media around the team, that just seems like it's another level.
Yeah, it's crazy because they're so used to success. They're so used to, you're a one-team town and you're a big city too. It's not like Newcastle's relatively small compared to Brisbane. It's crazy. The pressure's crazy.
Yeah.
You saw when the boys were in tears in that. Not only is it the media, but it's also the fans. They expect wins. But look, I think Broncos will get the win this weekend. If they don't, I said this last year, the same thing. I said if they don't,
You'll stop supporting him.
Didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
But I was like, all hope is lost.
Yeah.
Were you invited to that Old Boys Day?
No, maybe to me, email, but I don't think I qualify as a top tier old boy.
Mate, you got one of the best tries in the history of the club. It's like you and the Pearl.
What?
2 greatest tries in Broncos history.
That doesn't get you there. What does?
It's bullshit. We were saying, you should be taking a couple of these players under your wings.
Farm holds tens of thousands, mate. Surely there's a bit of room.
You could take bloody Tessie New under your wing, or I mean, David's probably older than you. I don't know how old Dave's been around for a while. You get
David's
Croft.
younger still.
But, you could get up there, have a yarn with a couple
maybe
of
I did
boys.
get the email. I haven't seen it, but maybe I did. I think they've tried to contact me like once ages ago, I think. But yeah, I'm not necessarily considered a stalwart of the club. But yeah, anyway, Broncos to win. Who you
Bulldogs
got?
1-12.
Bulldogs 1-12. Eddie,
Okay.
you read my mind.
Okay.
That'll be 13 losses on the trot for everyone that didn't miss it at the start. That'll be
Eels
13.
Sharkies. Eels look good. I told you last week the game was
They
going to
did
be
look
way
good.
closer than you thought.
They did look
You didn't
good.
thank me for that, did you? I told you. I gave you the tip. I said
did.
Storm would win, but it'd be very close.
I still maintain the Storm would have won 1-12 had it not rained.
We didn't look at the weather either.
No,
which
we
is
didn't.
Silly.
And we should have. Ground conditions, not any. Weather unknown. That's helpful. That's helpful.
Yeah, I think that the Eels, like they're coming up against a Shark side that even when they have been like going all right, they never really look that good. It doesn't seem like they're never really that inspiring. You're never super excited. Will Kennedy, is it Will Kennedy?
Yep,
Is their
for the
fullback?
back.
He's good.
Yeah,
He's a gun, but like by and large, and with the greatest respect to Chad and the like, it's not really a super inspiring side. Whereas the Eels have,
The Eels side's sick.
yeah, even though we shit on Mitchell Moses last week and then he proved us wrong completely.
And full respect to him.
Full respect to him.
It
he
was
went
his
and did
first big question. This
Yeah.
is the first. His question is he a big game player? This was his first big game of the year, and he was probably the best half on the field.
He was. He answered the question.
Kicked well. Gutho,
Outrageous.
dude.
Those try savers were a joke.
Bro, like he doesn't seem, like there's something almost where he doesn't seem like he's as good as he is, or like he's trying so hard. He just pulls off this shit where you're like, I don't expect you to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
He doesn't look like the
He's
sort of player
unassuming.
that
He's
should.
unassuming. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm trying to, like, this sounds like I'm bagging him out, but I'm not. Like, he just pulls off this really incredible stuff that you're not really expecting him to do somehow. He's so good.
Micah
So
Sevo is...
A train down that left
God,
side. An absolute train.
Holy shit. That try winner, I was like, bruh.
Bro, every time...
Like, good luck defending him, mate.
Even if he lets him catch it and tries to tackle him, he's getting fucking steamrolled anyway.
Completely. There's no point.
You may just bail and just go, fuck it. We'll go home, eh?
Walk off.
But I think the Eels look they have a tendency to be up and down, but I do feel like if they just stick to their game plan, they'll be much too much for the Sharkies to handle.
You almost think if they're actually, I mean, obviously it's only the third game of the season, but, I don't see them winning for a very long time in terms of premierships. But if they are to have any, like if they are a real deal team this year, then they should beat the fuck out of the Sharks, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a good game for if they are to be, put it this way,
Top tier.
The Roosters would go out and probably put a good number on the Sharks.
100%.
And you look at that forward pack, like Junior Paulo, again, one of the other front rowers is just outrageous.
So
frightening.
good.
So fucking good. Regan Campbell, Gillard was fantastic. Reed Marnie's in career best form.
Papali'i's a good player.
He's also one of the bang for buck probably signings of the year. I didn't even know that you signed him.
No, neither did I. He's just strong. He runs real hard, just strong as fuck.
Keeps going. He did like 40 tackles in like 40 minutes or some shit last week.
Sean Lane looks like he's auditioning for Dallas Buyers Club in that photo. I'm just saying, like he does. He's McConaughey's stunt double or something. Like
Mate, it looks like it looks like Photoshop to me.
that's a weird
Like they've
pick.
stretched
Everyone
his
else
head.
is normal, and then Sean Lane.
He's a tall man. He's a very tall man.
He's tall, but
like,
that's fucking.
He's 3 heads to Junior's 1
Yeah.
in those photos.
Yeah, exactly. That's ridiculous.
Good
Is that one of the
Lord.
great DC or Sean Lane?
Well, I would have said DCE until I saw this photo.
DC was home and hose until you saw that photo.
Yeah,
But to be fair, like proportion-wise, he is really long and tall.
But not that. Like, that's a weird photo.
DCE's neck's certainly best on ground because it's way longer than any part of his body. Like it's disproportionately
It's longer than
long.
his arm.
Yeah, but Sean there looks unwell.
Again, Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah, great film.
Fuck. All right, I'm going Eels and I'm going 13+.
Yeah, I'm with you. Eels 13+.
In saying that, the Sharks showed a lot of grit. They showed a lot of grit against the Raiders.
Eels 1-12.
Eels 1-12. What are they paying? $1.37, $3.10. I can't believe that the Warriors are further out against the Raiders.
Yeah,
Mate, I'm
Fuck.
telling you.
That's a value bet.
what?
That's
Yeah,
a value bet.
I've jumped on.
I would if I bet. Knights, Tigers. I mean, the Tigers, obviously the big story is, Joey Leilua. He's been dropped.
For Tommy Talau.
Tommy Talau, who was a young throbber,
Yep.
Made all the rep teams, wanted by every club. He's a gun player, but
Jimmy the Jet back?
Jimmy the Jet's back. But I just think the Tigers, I think their problems are quite deep, to be honest. A similar situation to the Broncos, really.
Oh,
deep
mate.
problems that stem further than their roster.
Poor old Keary, they just ran at him. Luke Brooks, rather.
Sorry, I was
they just
gonna
ran
say
at
Keary
him all
all day,
game,
all
bro.
day.
Just pounded him.
They let
into
him
the earth. Oh my God, it was hard to watch. I'm like,
Every time
holy
they went
shit.
down there.
If this bloke has to make another tackle in his line against like Tupanua just steamrolling over the top of him, I'm like, oh my God. Or Takiaho, I think it was.
Or Satili. Satili was like, he's big and strong and fast.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking absolute
Fuck
a
that.
monster
Like,
to tackle.
I mean, poor old Luke couldn't get through the fucking banner to start the
He
game.
couldn't get through the banner.
And then he's getting steamrolled by every
absolutely
fucking
pumped.
Roosters
This is
forward.
150th NRL game.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Like, enjoy
God.
that.
Poor old Luke was hard to watch. But Mitch Pearce, 300 this week.
Congrats,
Yeah.
Mitch.
I mean, fuck, he's been around for ages.
Hasn't
now.
he been around?
Fucking been
How
through it.
old is he to pay? Is he 30?
Yeah, he's 30. He'd be
31?
30. Oh, he'd be 32-ish. I think he's my age.
When you talk about
32.
storied rugby league careers, he's had one.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Very
yeah.
storied.
Well, one of the
Many chapters.
one of the kings of the off season.
Well, that's where he reigned supreme.
Yeah.
That's probably where he did his best work.
I think it's
Full respect to Mitch.
Look, he's won a comp and he's now won an Origin series, but off season Mitch, gold Logie sort of contender.
well, he's won Dally M's in the offseason.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? He's in bronze in the offseason.
Yeah. If there were
There's
statues,
statues for off
season,
seasons. He's got one.
he's got one out the front of fucking
Yeah.
Northies or wherever the hell you'd put him.
well, you put
Or put him in urinals.
All right, who you got in this game?
Newcastle.
13 plus all
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah,
Bradman
really.
Best is just going to rip and tear this team apart.
Mate, he is just such an out and out throbber.
Yeah.
He's only 19 still.
Dude, that's wild.
Is he?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's 19. And he was the game breaker. Like that was
Yep.
big boy behaviour.
That
It
was
like,
two massive tackle breaks that it looked like kids on men pretty much.
And that flick pass was elite. That
100%. Confident, everything. He's
Yeah.
19.
I think he could get dangerous this weekend.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that the Knights are looking confident. Kurt Manny's back. Their forward pack is just looking better and better each week.
Their
Jaden
forward
Brayley,
pack's really fucking
Jaden
good.
Brayley has been out just really good this season for them.
Yeah.
His service to Mitchell Pearce changes everything for them. They're getting confident.
Their
Connor
forward
Watson's
pack's
looking
better
good.
in every area, right? Like there isn't
Pretty much,
anywhere.
yeah.
There isn't anywhere where it's like.
Yep. I'd say that their forward pack across the board is a better forward pack. It's. I think it's a tough time for the Tigers because I don't see they don't really have any way of recruiting anyone.
Yeah.
It's not like the Broncos at least still have that lingering.
They're still the Broncos.
Yeah, that club. Kevy Walters is a coach, whereas the Tigers, it has just been a tough period. I don't know. I just don't know how they get out of it. Like, where do they turn? What do they do
Send them to Perth.
to get out of this hole that they're in? Because they didn't. It's not like they're winning wooden spoons, but there's no change year over year. You know, it just seems like every single year is similar to the year
9th,
before.
10th, 11th, 9th, 10th.
Yeah,
11th,
I just
12th.
if anything, I know it's only been 2 rounds, but they actually probably look worse than they did last year.
Well,
which is a
I think
tough
they're
thing.
bottom 4 this year, for sure.
Which is tough because they've put in so much work. They recruited really well with Tarmau. Now, I think Tarmau went off injured, and that's a big loss for them. Again, I think the only way they do turn it around is if a guy like Tarmau can work some magic in recruiting, like using him.
Trying to talk
with
someone in.
connections, and he would
Yeah.
know all the boys. And because at the moment,
Or you just got to throw a arseload of cash at at someone.
That's
I don't
tried
think they've
that,
got
though.
an arse load. Do they have an arse load?
they've tried it though.
Yeah.
They tried to get Trell. He took much less money to go to Rabbitohs.
That's so.
They tried to get the
That's
Fox.
so sad.
Didn't get the Fox.
Did they offer Trell $1 million?
I can't say how much I offered, but it was a lot more than what he's on right now.
And he just went, nah, look, you know what? I'm cool.
Well, people don't understand.
They lost
he was,
Tedesco. Remember that Tedesco?
Tedesco.
and then on the weekend he was out so good.
Holy shit.
People don't understand. I know for a fact Latrell was offered way more by other clubs this contract time around, and he said no because there's more to life than money. So people don't know that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, get your group of mates around, there's not many in your group of mates that will literally actually turn down $600,000 extra a year.
Yeah.
That is a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And he gets no raps for that. No one talks about it. And I know that there are clubs, and I know which clubs they were, that offered him over $1 million. This contract round.
And I bet you it was the Tigers.
that was last time. That was last time.
Think of the biggest beaters in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what we got? We got Knights 13 plus?
I think Knights 13 plus.
I think comfortably.
Comfortably. Do we give Mitchie a try in his 300th if you just want to roll it into a multi?
I won't.
Bradman Best is going over.
Yes, Bradman.
Left side defence.
13 plus into Bradman Best. Thanks for coming.
Sorry, he's right side. Okay, who's the
Let him float to left.
Inari
Tuala.
Him and his wing, you could probably say, are going to get a meaty.
Beautiful.
On that.
That's Stafford Toa. Is that his winger?
Yes, Stafford. Yes, Stafford Toa, and then Heimel Hunt is Bradman Best.
Yeah. Heimel Hunt and Bradman becoming the new Gidley to Tahu.
And they've still got Ponga to come back.
Rah.
You know what I mean? Like, people haven't really thought about that, but Kalen Ponga is their superstar player.
Yeah.
But I'm going Knights 1 to 12 just due to the fact that I think that, like, Madge is going to be doing everything to get his boys up after this game. Like, they have been annihilated in the media, like, just smashed. So I think Madge is going to just pull it out of them somewhere. They won't win, but they'll hang on for dear life.
I disagree. I know what you're saying, but I'm not buying it.
Okay, last match of the round, Cowboys v the Titans. Look, I think the Titans will learn a lot from last week and build on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Titans look good. They just look like they're trying to work out what they're doing a little bit, right?
Yeah. And just that extra that extra maturity of, like, when they get ahead, like the Roosters, it was like at one point before halftime it was 12-6. And then the Roosters got ahead and it was like they went in at halftime at, like, whatever, 20-12. Then they came out and scored more tries in the second half.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of, like, an elite side where they can be ahead and that makes them go harder. Whereas a lot of sides, like the Titans, is they get ahead of the Broncos, like they're fucking way ahead and they let Broncos score a few late tries. If they can sort that out, then fucking the world's their oyster. They'll kill it.
What's the problem with the Cowboys? Because I think that the first one we did this year, you were quite, like, excited about what the Cowboys, like, not necessarily excited, but, you know, like,
I thought they were the biggest
confident.
swing side. Yeah. I thought that Todd Payton was going to go there because he did so well with the Warriors squad and he was just going to turn this roster that is good on paper into something special, but it just has not worked. I think there's deeper issues. I think. You reckon? So you reckon there's a bit more, like, just going on up there? Look, I just think that they've got a group of players on a lot of money that that are struggling, and if it continues, I see Payton as a very ruthless guy that will clean. He'll just clean out. If this continues, I imagine in 2022 it'll be a different roster.
Really?
I just think he'll do whatever he can to clean out.
What's Val on?
Apparently nearly $1 million a year.
Wow.
Apparently.
On the wing.
On the
to be a winger?
Shit.
Jesus Christ. They've just been so flaccid. Cowboys.
That's probably a good way to
You know
describe
what I mean?
it.
Like, just like, ugh.
No blood in them at all.
No,
And they've got the slug on them.
They've got a
slug's
slug,
there.
yeah.
Oh, no. The slug's not in question.
No, the slug's
It's
there.
the blood in the slug.
Yeah, okay. So they got a blood flow problem.
Yeah, they're impotent.
Yeah. They're impotent. Yeah.
What do you reckon they need for it? I mean, I thought Payton was going to get that blood flowing.
We thought Payton maybe was someone that could prime a slug, you know, to attention.
Well, he's got a storied history of priming slugs, Tom.
He primed slug in New Zealand.
That's it.
Fucking
And
oath
if
he
you
did.
can prime that slug, that Kiwi slug, then you're doing pretty well.
Maybe he works better with Kiwi slugs than Aussie slugs.
Maybe that's it.
He may well. It might be.
That might be his thing.
That might be his thing. It's hard without Tamalolo. It's hard to get a thing going with him out. How long is he? What's his hand situation?
They reckon about 3 to 4 weeks, I think.
Okay. He just
You
sets
got to
the
work
tone.
extra hard to get a slug up without
But
Tamalolo.
the problem is we thought that Tamalolo would be the blood pumper, but he was there round one, and they were.
That's true.
But is it too early to make a read on that?
I'm not saying he's playing bad, but Payton's chosen to use him differently, not just like throw him out there and be like, please work.
Get us hard, get us
Please
hard, get us hard, get us hard.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So look, I'm going Titans, but I think it'll be 1 to 12.
David Fafita looked great last week.
Dave looked good. Did that hurt as well? That must have hurt. That must have hurt so
fucking
much.
David looked fucking great.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
That was a real icing. Cherry on top.
I mean, it didn't hurt as much as watching my hooker be in the grand final next year and win 17 straight. Didn't hurt as much as that, but it hurt.
Well, listen, now I think it probably should hurt more because you guys tried so hard. We actually just got rid of Appy, which
That's
was
even
stupid.
worse. You chose to. We fought for our guy.
It was stupid,
No, hang
but
on.
you lost.
Hang on. We got rid of Appy, with all due respect, because Manasi was there. He was ready and he was
That's still
raring
poor,
to go.
Poor roster
You
management.
lost Fafita with no replacement. Like, you just lost
We
him.
got Jordan Riki.
With no replacement.
You guys literally got rid of a 9 that took you to close to prelim finals, and then he went on a 17 win streak, broke all types of records, and you still have no hooker. You literally still have no hooker.
That is a fair point. That is, and that still burns.
It's
But
with the courts.
it's with the courts, and the fact of the matter is, you are the holders of the wooden spoon, and you're about to break the record for the most losses consecutively.
Put it this way:
Facts.
if
Facts.
Broncos play Manly today, we tell he's up 13 plus.
Oh fuck, dude!
Fuck
We've got to do something for Broncos.
Broncos,
for
Manly. Yeah, absolutely. We'll try to do a beers footy for it. It'll be on at fucking 1 a.m. in the morning.
yeah.
Wednesday morning. Look, we've actually got a new slot.
All right, so I'm going Titans. What are you going? 1 to 12 Titans.
I'm gonna say Titans 13 plus. I'm going hard on 13
Is
plus.
this in North Queensland?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Titans 1 to 12.
Titans 1 to 12. All right. Subscribe to Hello Sport podcast. Subscribe to also Instagram at Hello Sport
Podcast.
And Punters and Dribblers on Facebook. Is that still open, that group?
Yep, that's still going.
Yeah,
Punters,
we're accepting
Dribblers,
invitations.
and About Even is our betting show.
About
on
Even is the new
YouTube.
betting show. It's a betting show that actually talks about your wins and losses, not just your wins.
Correct. It's more of the same of this sort of shit, to be honest, and just sort of bathing in losses.
And replace me with someone that knows how to bet, because there's a guy that actually is a professional bettor.
Who's losing horribly to us right now.
But he hasn't worked for, I think, 3,600 days, about 10 years.
He's been a
11
professional
years.
bettor since 2011. So we thought
So
we'd
he's
bring him
our
on to
own
help
range.
us.
Okay.
But
Okay.
he's actually been going bad.
Yeah,
Anyway.
go check it out. Hello Sport Podcast YouTube page.
Yep.
Grab a case of Bloke in a bar this week. As usual, I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.